if you put the 2014 Ohio State Buckeyes up against the 2023 Michigan Wolverines, who wins? Welcome to Michigan Football at the voice of college football. It's a slow news day, so Jake Butt and Joshua Perry over there at the Big Ten Network went head to head and decided to talk about the things football fans care about. Who would win the game against two teams that could never possibly play each other? Hello, my name is Cliff, and with me, as always, is Mac. This is one of those nerdy arguments that fans like to have that means absolutely nothing. Like which ship would win in a battle if you took the Enterprise and fought Battlestar Galactica? Nobody knows. The Rocky Balboa movie was all about that simulated fight between Rocky Balboa in his prime and Mason Dixon, who is the current champion. It doesn't matter. It's all made up, but it's fun and it gets people riled up. So here we go. Here are the stats that matter. In 2014, Ohio State won the national championship with a 14-1 record and a loss to Virginia Tech. In 2023, Michigan won the national championship 15-0 and lost to nobody. Michigan wins. End of story. Argument over. Mac, your thoughts.
That Virginia Tech team went 7-6.
So clearly an amazing win for Ohio State.
They lost to East Carolina, Georgia Tech, Boston College, and Wake Forest. There's no way Ohio State 2014 beats 2023 Michigan. There's no way. And I was so excited to debate this. It's not really a debate because obviously we're both Michigan fans. But like I thought this would be kind of a fun, like thinking exercise, right? Thinking about one of the greatest Ohio State teams ever going up against probably the greatest Michigan team ever. There are a lot of really good players we're talking about. Obviously, you got, J.J. McCarthy, Roman Wilson, Blake Corum, Donovan Edwards, all of the great Michigan offensive linemen from 2023. Zach Zinter, Trevor Keegan, going up against the 2014 Buckeyes. I would have loved to have seen the 2023 Michigan defensive line try and stop Ezekiel Elliott. I think they actually would have done okay. I think that they would have. The only thing that I think that maybe would have made it interesting is the fact that Ohio State actually had a really good offensive line too. But here's the thing. We actually kind of have a way to balance this, examine it properly, if you will. This is the closest we're going to get to a clean data set. Michigan and Ohio State, obviously they play every year. Michigan had one of their worst stretches ever under Rich Rod and Brady Hoke. Brady Hoke's last year had probably the worst offensive line in Michigan history. I mean, just whoa. Devin Gardner was sacked. What did I just see? Devin Gardner was sacked 26 times. He threw 15 interceptions throughout the entire season and only 10 touchdowns. He had a 15 to 10 interception touchdown ratio. What? No Michigan running back ran over 520 yards. That includes the great Davion Smith, who is great. All right. So it's safe to say that Michigan offense, not great. Not great at all. Still somehow managed to put up 28 points against the national champion, Ohio State. Makes no sense. Also, JT Barrett had a really good game until he broke his leg. I think one of the coolest parts of that game was Devin Gardner running out on the field, making sure that JT Barrett's okay, praying with him. That was awesome. But it was clear that this game was not really a competition. But it wasn't a competition when it got to the second half. Somehow or another, this game was tied at the half. And I mean, they have these great players, and they think that they're going to beat the 2023 Michigan Wolverine team. Virginia Tech went 7-6. That's my argument. End of story. No, but on a serious note, this actually would have been really cool. Go ahead.
I have an alternate question.
Okay, hit me.
Could the 2014 Ohio State Buckeyes beat a 10-man Notre Dame defense? That's what we need to be talking about because that's the issue of our day.
That is the issue of our day. I want to go to the same math school that Marcus Freeman went to. I want to know who his math teacher is because she's probably watching that game. Like, I like how I assume it's a she. Might have been a he. I don't know. I want to. That nerd's probably sitting at home watching that game, going, Marcus, you know, we got your abacus out. We did the thing. It's an abacus, isn't it? Where they count the things.
Oh
Whatever.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
Move the beads around.
move
Yeah.
the beads around. No, but in all seriousness, joking aside, this actually would have been pretty sweet. Thinking about like JT Barrett and then eventually Cardell Jones, Ezekiel Elliott, Curtis Samuel, Devin Smith, Michael Thomas, the great, what was his name? Joshua something or another from Ohio State, the linebacker that led them in tackles. I just had his name.
Joshua
He's
Perry.
Joshua Perry. Yeah. Literally the guy you just mentioned. That would have been awesome. Seeing that team go up against JJ McCarthy, go up against all of these great Michigan players in 2023, that would have been really sweet. The thing that I think actually might have given Ohio State a bit of an edge, because Ohio State, I was looking at their 2014 schedule. Like you said, they lost to Virginia Tech. They played a close one at Minnesota and then another close one at Michigan State. But that was when one of those rare moments where Michigan State actually fielded a competent football team. Um, they actually, I mean, they trounced Wisconsin, number 13 Wisconsin, 59-0 in the Big Ten championship game. So they were all over the place in terms of how they were playing, which is kind of funny because then you'd think that their matchup against Alabama in the CFP, and I remember this even though it was 10 years ago, and I have trouble remembering what I had for breakfast most days. I remember they were saying that Alabama was probably going to trounce Ohio State. If I remember correctly, I heard a lot of outlets saying that Alabama was probably going to trounce Ohio State. But Ohio State shocks them with the run that cut down the heart of the South with Ezekiel Elliott's touchdown. That was a huge game for them. I remember we were watching that at Buffalo Wild Wings, and Alabama, I mean, that was a good Alabama team too. I can't remember exactly who was on that team. They had Derrick Henry was on that team. Amari Cooper was on that team. TJ Yeldon was on that team. I mean, they had some great players too. So Ohio State obviously earned that national championship, just like Michigan did. But in any case, it's a really cool thought experiment. I still give Michigan the edge because I think overall Michigan had the most consistent season and the better. Oh, I was about to say the better run game. Yeah, I'm going to say the better run game, or at least the better offensive line. Certainly the better defensive line. Maybe that's the key in this game is that Michigan actually has the better defense, and Ohio State's offense might not have been able to be as consistent against Michigan's 2023 defense as they would hope. But yeah, I think that's what gives Michigan the edge. So yeah, I also say Michigan.
And I don't know who won the argument between Joshua Perry and Jake Butt, but if you want to find out, the video is on the BTN Network YouTube. What did you think about our arguments? Drop a comment. Let us know if you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out all the channels on the Voice of College Football Network. You can also catch us on the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show right here on YouTube, 8 p.m. Monday nights live. Mac, take us out.
This is Michigan football at the Voice of College Football.